you give us hope. Well, as you're all aware, and you will relate to these words, the aftermath in me will not let me take that all upon me. It's like a repulsive, like, But here's the reality. You give me hope too. And I'm not just saying that, because this is what I love about this community that we've built, because it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's people that know, people that get it, that can finish each other's sentences off for the first time in their life. For years they've remained silent in this abyss, falling every time a trigger steps in. And I like to see it as, the more we openly speak, the more we get rid of that shame and blame, the more we can look forward rather than being stuck in. And you know, I came out the Johnny Depp Amber Heard court case, and I to witness it, to be a fly on the wall, not your own story, but so much raw emotion pouring out, because domestic violence abuse was being placed out on the main stage, being streamed to thousands of victims. And it was like a magnetic urge, like a pull that pulled me through. And after my life experience, aligning with a man would have been a no-no. But here's the thing, in this moment, it didn't matter about gender. It didn't matter about male or female, because I simply, naturally, emotionally aligned with the victim. And that was it. That was enough. I always said that the people watching on could have been silenced out to the sound on the screen in front of us. And by simply watching the actions and behaviours, and in our experience from reading a room and understanding a risk, we would have come to the same conclusion as Johnny Depp was the victim. If we had been blindfolded and listened in, we would have heard that pain in his voice, because emotions, again, we're alert to. We can read every situation, because living in that regime, it keeps you high alert, stood to attention, you know. And I never expected this to grow like it did. But each and every day, you give me hope, because I have bad days where I think, oh my God, you're ridiculous, you're stupid, as the overthinking kicks in. What are you doing? You're not getting as much support for the aftermath as you do speaking about Harry and Meghan. But my true passion is sharing this. My true passion is reaching out to one person who is sat in that abyss, because I know it so well. To get out, to find free, to find safety, then every damage and behaviour built in leads you to feeling unsafe, even though you've got everything you've ever dreamed of in place. And I see in the comments upon any post I put up in the aftermath, people helping, supporting, because you know what, we are niche. I wish we were more niche than what we are, actually, because domestic abuse is widely spread. And there are so many people probably sat in silence and still fearing that dread, that impending doom that lies heavily on them. And I just want, I need to do this. I need to speak on it, and I never planned to do this. I really didn't. But you see me speak about the aftermath and try and explain with all my might what it is and what I believe we can do as a non-doctor, non-expert to help navigate through. And the aftermath for me is, I put this post, which you've commented on today or last night, I put this on my YouTube also, and I received a comment from someone who knew of someone, and I'm just going to read it to you, because this sums up the aftermath in a nutshell. I knew a young man years ago who had an horrendous family life growing up. One of the most severe family lives I know of. He married a girl his age who came from extreme opposite family life. Her family were born again Christians and very family orientated. Loving parents who talked out a family drama. A very well balanced family. The couple were married 2 years to grow into marriage before deciding to have children. When she got pregnant, her husband, after the excitement for the first couple of months, started to become crippled with dread and fear. He was terrified he would be the kind of father his father was to him and his sister. The fear was robbing him now of enjoying this wonderful new experience with his wife. Turns out he was a great dad and is now a fabulous grandpa. His children grew up to have the same type of upbringing his wife had growing up, and it showed in the bond they all had, an amazing family. And it's hard to explain to people. And I think when I was in that abuse growing up, I had this fairy tale dream built up in my head. Hope this was. Everything I tried to do to carve this out, and I achieved that. The home, I worked hard, so I tried to provide safe and comfort. But when I was stood in it, when I was living in it, all my insecurities, all that pain and fear was just sabotaging it in every way. And I felt unworthy yet again. Because what sort of mom feels this dread? What sort of mom has these visuals in her head? And it's the sort of mom, it's the sort of dad that lived a real life dread, who's had that wound just weeping away with a plaster stuck on top, and it just comes out of the blue. A bad word said, a roll of an eye, a simple action placed out in front of you, in how it can link back up. You're non-worthy, you're non-deserving, all that has been laid dormant underneath. And for me, it's about healing that wound. It's about understanding and learning that you do deserve. And it's about bringing hope once again to the ones that are living this on a loop, this hell of the aftermath, in how no matter how many miles you travel, no matter how much you progress in your life, that the common occurrence that keeps popping up is your once unhappy life. And it's about connecting the two for me. It's about meeting them up so you can understand the correlation, and it explains the whys to the then to give you peace, so you can choose to see, understand, and validate in a way which helps take away the black smoke of hate so heavily placed within you by someone who did not care about you. Anyway, you know what I'm like when I get started, because I'm very, very passionate about this. Too many people suffer at the hands of domestic violence, and we hear, you know, the stories of the then and how extreme they are. But what I want to bring a story to is the aftermath of that. That extreme story that's triggering for people to hear, but people live with it in here. So naturally, the seasons change, it goes hot from cold. We get poorly and catch a cold. Fight for flight every day of your childhood life. Naturally, it's going to impact just like that illness of a cold, but within your mind, you know. But obviously I'm not an expert, I'm just someone who's really passionate about sharing my story to anyone out there who wants to listen in, to know they were never alone, and there are many out here who do actually know, you know. Hope the aftermath. I hope it will bring